Hello and welcome to Warhammer Workshop's preview review for the last day, the fourth day of WarhammerFest 2022. I am JF Dubois. I'm joined by my friend Daniora. Amy,
Hello.
we don't care how we feel.
No, we don't. We do care how we feel about this preview, though.
I feel it was early
It was
because
very
I
early.
did it.
Did you do
I
it?
did it. Oh, I did it.
I didn't do it.
Cause it was it was a 10 UK time,
Yeah.
Nottingham time, which is 5 o'clock my time,
Mhm.
AM. So at
Yeah.
4:45, I was awake,
And you were like, well,
bright-eyed. And I wouldn't say bushy-tailed, but
yeah. So we got a good look at the new Horus Heresy. Some of it is better looks at stuff that we've already seen. Some of it is new stuff that they had not talked about, and there's a lot of it. Now, neither of us are particularly Horus Heresy fans. However, I gotta tell you, they're making a good case for it.
they are. Here's the thing, right? So my distaste is towards. It's not even distaste. It's kind of
No.
like a black dress syndrome. Like I
Mm.
don't want to wear what the popular kids are wearing to the dance. So since everybody is like, Space Marines, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna do something else because I'm special.
Yeah,
As special as millions of people playing Tyranids can be.
sure.
So, but because Horus Heresy is almost only Space Marines,
Yeah.
the best deals are for Space Marine fangs. Everything that they've showcased is plastic Space Marine fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's how I do Space Marines.
Sure.
I do a Horus Heresy army, get myself one of those big boxes, do that, call it a day, move on with my life, and yeah, that way I don't have to do Space Marines for 40K,
Right.
because I'll have Space Marines for Horus Heresy.
This is sort of the Games Workshop equivalent of historical wargaming, which has always been kind of the thing that's been the turnoff for me. Like I don't want to go to play somewhere and have somebody be like, well, actually that legion didn't really like to do stuff like that. Like I can't, because that's the thing about 40K, right? Is it's like your army, your way, do whatever you want, paint them however you want, build them however you want. Congratulations. you
Yeah,
have money.
I show up with an army that is striped pink and yellow. Nobody can say it doesn't exist because I can say, no, you don't understand. Like, this is a successor chapter out of 10,000 successor chapter. And these guys come from a very strange world where, like, there's a lot of very bright yellow sand and the skies are almost always pink. So that's their camo.
Right.
Although camouflage is the color of cowardice, as I'm told.
Yeah, we learned that today.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, definitely, and it does seem to be shaping up like this is going to be their historical for 40K.
Right.
Well, it's kind of always been,
Yeah.
and the Warhammer Old World is going to be historical for Age of Sigmar,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
That's cool.
I'm fine with that.
All right. So let's dive in. So we are getting we got to see the box, which is a big box. It looks like the Ash Wastes box.
It does. They were
which-
saying like, oh, this is the biggest box we've seen in a long time.
Now,
It's like, oh.
now it was a lot of little sprues in there, as opposed to the Ash Waste one that has a lot of the big terrain sprues. So in the box, which we already know most of the stuff in the box, but we'll just fly through it real quick. So we've already seen the Beaky Boys, and there's 40 of them in the box, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. 2 units of 20.
Yeah. And so I do, as Space Marines go, I think we talked about this. And this is, I'm sort of realizing this through this set of previews, right? Because this is the kind of stuff that the AdMech stuff has, proceeded from, and the League of Votan, like that old school curvy stuff. And so, like, I don't hate it as much as I previously did. So like they do have that going for them. We get 2 Praetors, one kind of good looking guy, one kind of bad guy. But But I mean, you can do them however
So
you want.
which
but
one's
that's
the
the
good
idea.
looking? Which one is the bad looking? Because
Well,
I
not
like
bad
the guy.
looking, but heretical.
Okay,
One
okay.
more-
'Cause
one more loyalist, one more
I
heretical.
have an opinion about dudes going to war with feather dusters.
Well, good news.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, not that a top knot is really
No.
more practical, but those are heads. Like there's plenty of heads. Head
There's
swaps are
something.
easy.
There's something about the coming of the Emperor that really made how warriors handle their headwear in battle go completely off the rails.
Yeah. We also have the Contemptor Dreadnought, who we've already talked somewhere about how I do like this little fellow and all of his curvy
We are
bits.
on opposite sides
I
of
know,
a circle
I
there.
know you hate him.
I don't. I do kind of hate him because here's the thing: like, in Adam and Eddie were talking about like the Contemptor Dreadnought being like this improvement over the old boxy one, but I like the old boxy one because dreadnoughts aren't robots; they're not
Yeah.
mechs; they're tombs;
Yeah.
they're sarcophagi.
Sure.
And I feel like the Contemptor doesn't have that.
No,
At least
I
the
agree
new
with you.
Redemptors kind of still do, but yeah, it just looks like a robot to me.
It does look like a robot. I 100% agree with everything you say. That said, I like the way
Like
that
robots,
this robot
I get
looks.
it.
I will say that the other thing that is always sort of a detriment to getting into Horus Heresy, like a reason why I wouldn't have even considered it, is that so much of it prior has been Forge World resin, which is a
Yes.
lot. And so now that it's plastic, that's like a different thing. We have the Spartan tank. It's a tank. It's a transport. It's got las cannon arrays. Can take up to 26 Space Marines in power armor. That's a lot.
Yes. I mean, that's a lot of
yeah.
dudes,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look bigger than your standard Land Raider, so
No.
I can only imagine they're hanging off from the sides, kind of
They're
orc
real-
style.
They're cozy in there.
Yeah. Well,
And then we get Terminators in cataphracti plate, which I do like how dumb these guys look. Also,
yes.
they almost
guess
look like
that's the thing,
squats,
like-
though. Like it's that same sort of like my head is in my shoulders, and I like it though.
I think that's the dichotomy that I need to sort of accept. Like, I'm usually very comfortable holding different point of views at the same time, and I need to accept that this is supposed to be serious historical things, but also look goofy as hell.
Yo, yeah,
Like, it is
yeah.
much as goofy as 40K can be. I feel like Horus Heresy tends to be goofier,
Sure.
even though it's trying to be more serious.
I mean,
Like, it's like a 6-year-old with really good cosplay.
yeah, that's true. In the box, also, we obviously get all of the play materials. You get the rulebook, the reference sheets, transfer sheet, pile of dice, including scatter dice. What?
I still have dozens of these
Yeah.
things.
Templates and the red licorice measuring sticks.
I will toss those.
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
So
I know they're necessary, but
we don't have an exact price for this box yet, but they did say that it will be less than £200 or $300 US, which is, I mean, for the amount of stuff.
I know.
That
It's
is
the
in
same
here is
conversation
actually
as
like-
the Ash Waste box.
Right. It is a high price, but a good value. But if you're splitting it with somebody else, I mean, that's,
Well,
not
as you
terrible.
can hear, I am definitely going to be splitting it with my cat,
yeah.
who is voicing a unusual interest in Horus Heresy.
So that is everything that is in the new edition launch box, which is a lot. Then
A lot.
we learn about all of the other stuff that is coming outside of that box.
Yeah, this is where I eat some crow.
Beginning with the army box, the army books. Obviously, loyalist or heretic. Those are your two flavors. Big books. What I do like about this, as opposed to other Space Marines, is that they do, from what they're saying, they do try to make all of the legions feel different.
Right.
Which is good. I'm into that. We're also
curious how.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll find out.
I guess they have special units and special rules. And
They did say that over the course of the next week or so, they will be doing Warhammer community articles about the various legions, giving you not only the fluff versions of why they're different, but a little bit on their gameplay.
Right, because I know the fluff, the
Yeah.
gameplay is where it gets a bit more nebulous.
So we also have tactical squad boxes, not only the Mark 6 that are in the core box, but Mark 4 and Mark 3 as well.
These are reprints from a
Yep.
previous box set, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But they will be available. Also a reprint. We have Araman and Geiger Fellhand from the
That I'm happy about.
Burning of Prospero box.
Because that Araman fig is
It's real good.
real good. They're
It's
both
real
real
good.
good.
I mean, I do feel it is when you see like these heroes that are still heroes in 40K, like when you look at them side by side and I go, this is why I play 40K, because like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Horus Heresy Mortarion, but also it's not 40K Mortarion. That's for sure.
There is something cool about seeing both versions because it does kind of
Yes.
create that link to history
Mhm.
in a way that does make Horus Heresy more appealing.
It is very much like someone had a really big summer, though. Like, it's like when you come back to school, you know,
Yeah.
when somebody grew up over the summer, and you're like,
oh,
wow.
Yeah, you sure filled out. Have you been to Hot Topic? So but like I have a Forge World Mortarion lying about, and I've been eyeing a 40K Mortarion, and just painting both of them side by side would be a lot of fun. I might make that a project. So yeah, no, I'm stupid box.
So, this was also interesting how they're doing this. These are your weapons upgrade boxes. There's special weapons and a variety of different heavy weapon sets. And this is the way, like, this is how they come. So you can, all of your squad boxes are sort of your standard tactical marine boxes. And then we've got all of these upgrade kits for weapons. And, like, there's a bunch of things in the boxes. Like, there are 60 of the special weapons upgrades, so obviously 10 of each. And, like, so they come with things, like, so for the ones that need special arms, like, they come with the special arms. So you do have to, like, plan ahead, but...
Yeah, and, I mean, also, like, the heavy weapons, some of them have special backpacks.
Yeah.
It's not just a bunch of guns on a sprue.
Right. But it is interesting that that's how they've chosen to do this. I mean, it's cool. I'm into it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We've talked a lot in the past about the idea of upgrade sprues to move one basic model to a different model just by selling sprues independently.
Right.
And
And
I'm
this is what it
hoping
is.
this really works.
And because, like, this is the one nice thing about the Oops All Space Marines, right? Is, like, if you want one set of weapons out of the box and I want the other set of weapons out of the box, like, we can split them.
Yeah.
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, if I'm specialing in, you know, heavy flamers and you're like, let's go plasma cannons, we can do that. We can split, and that's...
Yeah, and I feel
pretty
that this is something that may not have worked 10 years ago, but now
Agreed.
the way the communities work online,
Yep.
it's a lot easier to find someone to trade with.
Absolutely. I like how many underslung weapons there are. They look cool. They look heavy.
It's a lovely
They look
concept, and they're
weighty.
applying it well.
Yeah. Let's see. So we also got the Demos pattern Rhino.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't be less excited.
No. I mean, it is cool.
Get
Like,
it.
I do
get it.
I mean, as a 40k player who occasionally plays armies that do use a rhino, it's a pretty rhino. Like I could do that up, no problem. And it is the same, but it is it's nothing to write home about, really.
Yeah, it's I say it's a pretty model, but I can see, like, I've grown very much accustomed. Like, I started playing 40k, and that was kind of like the standard pattern that we got, anyways. So when it upgraded to the new pattern, it felt like an improvement. And although now this is a better kit of an old Rhino, I still feel like the new one is still an improvement.
Yeah.
I still think that it's a cooler looking vehicle. But if I'm gonna do Horus Heresy and I need Rhinos,
yeah, they're nice.
I will get these old ones, and they are okay. They are fine. I like the round doors are kind of cool.
Yeah. What is new, however, is the Kratos. Hang on, let me get the whole thing. Kratos Heavy Assault Tank.
And this is where I have a problem.
So this guy fits in between a Sicarian and a Fellblade. And what I liked about when they were talking about like putting this in your army, because of the weapons choices that it comes with, is you can look at your army and go, okay, what is it bad at? Okay, well then I'm gonna choose this weapon.
Yes. And this is something you can only do in a game like Horus Heresy, where everybody's basically the same army with slight variants.
Exactly.
Because having a flexible super weapon that balances you back out, and especially if it's built in a way that you can swap out weapons depending on who you're going to face, that's also going to be appealing. And it is a very cool looking model.
It is a cool tank. I do like this one. Yeah. The battle cannon has 3 options for shells, so even if you are building that one, like, you can on the fly decide which way you're going, which is like orcs except without the randomness.
Which, in a way, why bother?
Yeah.
If it's not going to be random, who cares?
And the final thing to round out this massive amount of Horus Heresy is 3 new books from the Black Library. Lupercal's War is an anthology of previously published short stories. They're touting this as, like, other than Horus Rising, right? Like, if you want something that's sort of a flavor of all the different kind of things that are going on in the Horus Heresy, this book is for you. We have Chthonia's Reckoning, which, you know, you happen to notice that the dudes on the front are painted the same color as the dudes on the box. And so that is what this
it's like you're
collection...
trying to tell us something.
Yeah, that is what this collection of short stories is about. And then we have Rogaldorn, the Emperor's Crusader, from the Primarch series. So that's, like, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what 1 hour on only Horus Heresy will give you.
Yeah.
So, where do you stand on this? Like,
So, I
should
feel like,
a big box fall into your lap?
should a big box fall into my lap? So I am looking forward to this week's Warhammer community articles about the various legions. I have a couple that I do sort of, like, in 40k where I pressed to make Space Marines. I would go Raven Guard because, you know, I like them, which I'm not ruling that out. But, you know, should a box fall in my lap, I think it would be a fun project. You know, because it doesn't have the urgency of, say, my Adepticon armies or, you know, my Underworld's warbands that I want to go play with. You know, it can be a sort of ongoing project. We could all join in and do it together, and it would be fun.
Yes, agreed.
And but yeah,
So
I could get into it. I could get into it.
This is the part that's, this entire WarhammerFest has been very much an exercise in getting JF to tilt more in favor of doing things he didn't want to do before.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? I have literally never painted a Space Marine. Not one. Not one single Space Marine. I've used them for, like,
for armies, but...
I've used them for, like, painting demos. You know what I mean? Like, here's how you dry brush, or here's how contrast paints work. But I've never actually sat down and painted a Space Marine.
I've painted a few. I've painted some for friends, and like you, like for color tests.
Yep.
So you say you would go Raven Guard for if
That's my 40K choice. So I'm not. I gotta wait and see what the flavors are. I mean, because I do tend to lean to the heretical. And as they pointed out, while Horus Heresy certainly focuses on Space Marines, it is not exclusively Space Marines. And down the line, we will get things like the Custodians and the Sisters of Silence and the Indismechanic.
I mean, they talked about getting rules. I don't like. I'm curious to see how far they're gonna go with the plastics on this. They've gone much further than I thought they would. That tank is. I mean, after we saw the preview at Adepticon, obviously, it kind of became clear that they were going to do a big, cool tank.
Yeah.
And nice, awesome, but I want to wait out and see before I want to wait to see if I'm gonna wait. No. I don't want to wait to see if they're gonna do plastic Custodes to commit to Custodes because
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll go oops all Space Marines, but then if something else comes along, then maybe you got two, and then you can find a friend.
I mean, I got a bunch of Forge World Custodes stuff that I need to paint. So if they get rules for Horus Heresy, I'll be able to play them. And their infantry is plastic, so that helps. I would do Death Guard.
Nice.
I like the old school Death Guard look.
My 40K Death Guard is painted in Heresy colors.
As well they should. I feel that that's their best.
I do like a lot of the Heresy colors as opposed to the 40K ones. I like swapping them out too. It's nice to have options.
I agree.
Whew, that was a lot of stuff.
It's a lot, and it's intimidating because a lot of it is so good, and like even as someone who doesn't play Horus Heresy, I can definitely I get on an academic level, I see my friends that are into Horus Heresy absolutely losing their minds, and I completely understand why.
And we appreciate a pretty model.
I appreciate a pretty model, and I mean, if I do get into it, I'm glad that that's where the system is at.
Yeah.
And hey, if that means that I get to play more games with some of my buddies in a system that they enjoy, there's no losing here.
Yep. So good. Well, that wraps up WarhammerFest Online 2022. A lot of good stuff. If you have not already watched our videos from the previous 3 days, you can go ahead and do that. If you could also hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. You can follow us on Twitter at Warham Workshop, and we will have plenty of exciting Warhammer video content for you in the future. Thanks for watching.